Lizzo, who made history last night at a concert in Washington, D.C., when she played a 200-year-old crystal flute that once belonged to President James Madison. Yeah, that's a really cool way to bring attention to American history. Yeah, because now students will know that James Madison was that guy who did a collab with Lizzo, you know? In education news, an Indiana teenager just learned that he was the only student in the world this year to get a perfect score on the AP Calculus exam. Yeah, very impressive. What's even crazier is that the kid sitting next to him had the second best score in the world. What are the chances? Think about it though, the only person in the world with a perfect score. Do you have any idea what the odds of that are? I don't. The kid does. I don't. That's how smart he is. I don't know. Oh, and from the world of fine dining, McDonald's has launched a limited edition series of Happy Meals for adults. Yeah. And look, I know there are adults who are nostalgic for Happy Meals, but it's not the cheap plastic toys you cherish. It's that memory of your dad picking you up from school and then surprising you with a trip to Mickey D's, getting that Happy Meal in the colorful box, you know, explaining to you that it's not your fault and both he and your mother still love you, even though they need to be apart now. Man, those toys were so cool. I remember those days. All right, but let's move on to some of the biggest stories of the day, starting with the monster hurricane that's shutting Florida down.
Breaking news, Hurricane Ian has now officially made landfall as a Category 4 storm, one of, if not the most powerful storm ever to make landfall on the western coast of Florida. Truly an historic and potentially catastrophic day for much of this state.
Ian's impact here as it moves inland will be a catastrophic surge of up to 18 feet, destructive wind gusts that are going way over 100 miles an hour, and flooding rain, which could be up to 2 feet because of the slow movement of the storm.
This thing's the real deal. It is a major storm.
Yeah, people, as we speak, Hurricane Ian is slamming into Florida. And I honestly hope that everyone in the Sunshine State is staying safe, you know, and I mean like rest of America safe. Yeah, not like Florida safe, you know? Like where someone wears like a long sleeve shirt to wrestle a gator. I'm being safe! No, not that. Just be safe. Because I mean, I know you guys are brave, but this hurricane, I mean, you heard Governor DeSantis. He said, this thing is the real deal. Not like the usual stuff I tell you to be scared of, like drag queens or critical race theory. I'm talking real. Like I might find myself to Martha's Vineyard. Because you understand, this storm is way worse than usual, right? 155-mile-an-hour winds, violent waves, and a storm surge of up to 18 feet high. 18 feet! You understand most pools aren't even 18 feet deep, right? It's like 8 feet of water and then maybe like another 2 to 4 of piss. That's it. But Hurricane Ian, this shit is wild. And by the way, why are we still naming natural disasters? Like, why do we do this? It's a weird thing we do. Hurricane Ian, Fiona. Like, we don't do that with personal disasters, you know? Yeah, there's no doctor who's ever been like, I have some bad news. Jeremy has spread to your brain. Just a cute little name I came up with so you would remember it. All right, but let's move on to some political news. After a shaky start to his presidency, Joe Biden has recently gotten some of his groove back. He's signing legislation, he's reestablishing America's status in Europe, and he's the new brand ambassador for aviators. Ooh. In fact, many people are actually saying that Biden might have a really good shot at winning a second term in office. All he needs to do, though, is avoid doing stuff like this.
An awkward moment for President Biden today at a White House conference. While calling out people in the audience, he accidentally included Indiana Congresswoman Jackie Walorski, who was killed in a car crash over the summer.
And I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here to help make this a reality.
No, Joe, what are you doing? That's so awkward. Oh, man. And his explanation didn't help. You know, he's like, of course I knew Jackie was dying. I was looking for Jackie Kennedy. Where's Jackie Kennedy? Where are you, Jackie? Where's Jackie? Oh. Look, I mean, I guess on the upside, at least he noticed that she wasn't there. This is a good thing. Yeah, it could have been much worse if he was like, where's Jackie? Oh, there she is. There's Jackie. Everyone look at Jackie. People are like, there's no Jackie. She's there. Everybody sees Jackie. And look, I know a lot of people are saying that this is another example of Biden's brain being foggy, but I think, if anything, this makes Biden a better president. Yeah. Think of how hard he must be working right now to keep Americans safe, knowing that Osama bin Laden is still out there somewhere. Where is he? Where is he, Jack? Where is he? Where is he? And finally, let's talk about air travel. The number of people flying is nearly back to pre-pandemic levels. And if you're one of those people about to take a flight for the first time in a few years, here's a reminder that you might experience some weird shit up in the air.
A new video is showing the moment that left passengers on board an American Airlines flight very confused. They were on their way to Dallas from LAX when strange noises started coming from the plane's public announcement system. Take a listen. The video has since gone viral and has gotten the attention of American Airlines. Some people have floated around the idea that the PA system was hacked. The company says the cause was a lot less sinister, blaming it on a malfunctioning system.
Hell no. What the hell was that? You hear that on there? I don't even know how to describe those sounds. It sounds like Chewbacca getting a hand job or something. What was that? And how is this guy so calm? He's just like, yeah, you hear those sounds. Yo, if I'm on a plane that starts making sounds like that, I'm getting a parachute. I'm getting a parachute and a few extra pretzels, and I'm opening the emergency exit. I'm gone. Now, a lot of people were speculating that the PA system was hacked by a prankster, but the official explanation from American Airlines is that the sounds were caused by, quote, a mechanical issue with the PA amplifier, which raises the volume of the PA system when the engines are running. Which somehow is less comforting. Like a hacker, I understand. Oh, I get it, a hacker. But you're telling me that the plane is always making sounds? Like Frankenstein is getting a prostate exam, but we're only hearing it now because of a mechanical issue? That's not reassuring information. To me, the best case scenario is if the pilot accidentally left the PA system on in the cockpit and all the sounds that the people heard were coming from him. All right, everybody, we're on autopilot now. Let me just check some of my crypto investments. Oh, that sucked, everybody. I gotta get my spirits back up. You know what? I'm gonna watch that new video from the Try Guys. Let's see. That sucked. Oh boy. Wait, what is this giant rat doing in here? What is it? No one can know. That would have been better. All right, that's it for the headlines. But before we go to a break, let's catch up on the traffic with our very own Roy Wood Jr., everybody.
Yes.
What's going on, Roy?
What's going on, man? Look,
Yeah,
man, a lot of traffic, you know, people evacuating over there in Florida. We hope that they stay safe, get the supplies you need. It could be a long time in the car, you know. But the thing I always wonder about evacuations, where are they going? The one car, it's always just one person going to the danger. Because it's really only two reasons to go into a storm. That is money and sex. Those are the only two reasons.
Wait, what?
You ain't never had disaster sex? Like during a natural disaster, you ain't never had sex? Man, what y'all be doing in South Africa? You always... Bro, I've had sex in a tornado, I've had sex in a wildfire, and an earthquake.
Wait. You had sex in an earthquake?
We were having sex and an earthquake happened. It's not like the earthquake started and I was like, quick, come on, baby, we gotta do it. Like, that's not...
Oh, okay.
But the cool thing about having sex in an earthquake is that you get all the credit for making a bed rock, and that's the dope part about being in an earthquake.
This thing in Florida is getting really bad. I heard that the Waffle House is shutting down, and Waffle House is apparently notorious for staying open. It shows you how bad this situation is.
That's one metric, but I don't think the whole Waffle House, if a Waffle House open to close, I don't think that's the most accurate measure of how bad a storm is. You want to know how bad a storm is where you are, just ask yourself one question. can I get cocaine right now? The last person to evacuate in a storm is the drug dealers. You don't understand. The drug dealer has too much inventory at risk. They got to be there and make sure all the money stays safe and make sure all the dope stays safe. You can't get your cocaine wet and turn into stucco. That's terrible.
So the drug dealers is what we look out for?
I'm telling you, if a storm is headed your way and you can't get cocaine, it's too late.
Okay. Okay, Roy. Thank you. So what's happening in the traffic?
Nothing real quick about McDonald's.
Oh yeah, the adult Happy Meals.
Adult Happy Meal.
Yeah.
Like, I get what McDonald's is trying to do. People are stressed, you know. You want people to smile, so you try and give them a little bit of happiness. But adults need more than food. See, the food and the toy, that's for kids. Kids are stupid. But for grown people, you got to give grown people more than that. You can't just give them food. You got to give them an experience. You really want to make adults happy. This is what McDonald's needs to do. First thing, they got to get a liquor license. They got to get the games, a ball pit, skee ball, pizza, get somebody like in a mouse, like one of them rat suits, get them to stand out front and play with everybody.
Wait,
that's what you get.
That sounds like Chuck E. Cheese.
No, I'm talking about something different. This is what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is like you get all of that stuff, and then also McDonald's could add card games, live entertainment, a smoking section, gambling, maybe some dice, no windows. You want people to focus on the happiness that's going on right there with the money and the food.
So you're pitching a casino?
No, I'm not pitching a casino. I'm not pitching you know what, man? You was a hater, and you always have been. Every time I propose an idea, all you do is give me pushback, bro, instead of supporting me. I thought you were a black man, I'm a black man. You're supposed to be helping brothers, uplift brothers. Like the time I pitched you the box that heat the food up real fast, you started talking about, oh, but there's a microwave.
It's
so
not
what?
A microwave.
It's not a microwave, it's different. The food go in through the top, not the front. That's a totally different device.
So
and I would think that you, my friend, who I've been rocking with on this show for 7 years, will go, Roy, that's a good idea. Here's $500,000 to invest into your product, and I would love to be a partner in your business.
I can't give you $500,000. I want to lose $500,000.
You're not gonna lose. This me, baby. You're not gonna lose the money. You're not gonna lose the money, dog. I'm telling you, man, this is gonna be a good place. And stop saying casino, because that's not what it is. It's a different type of spot that I'm talking about for to make adults happy. Adult happy building.
Okay, so like, can I buy like chips with my money?
That's a good idea. You in?
No, that's a casino,
That's
Roy.
not a casino. It's different.
You know what, Roy? Just give us the traffic.
I don't with you. You want you to try Google, pull up the Google map or something on your phone. I'm straight, man.
It's for a casino. Roy Wood Jr., everybody.